Welcome to the 2020 Hayes Freedom High School graduation. This certainly isn't how we plan to end your senior year. This school year has been a pretty extraordinary example of how life rarely goes according to plan. Plans are important though. They help us know what to expect. Planning requires good research and thinking through possible scenarios. It forces you to consider the future and prioritize what's most important to you. Your senior year is a culmination of your K-12 plan, preparation for life after high school. This year, more than any other year, you've probably been thinking about what's next. That can be exciting and frightening at the same time. You might look around and think everybody else has this all figured out and I'm still trying to work on my plan. Well, take a deep breath. It's going to be okay. You, the class of 2020, know better than anyone else. Sometimes things don't go according to plan. The secret to moving forward, to living your life in a meaningful way, is to have a plan. Think about where you want to go and why, but give yourself a little grace. Have some flexibility with your destination and how you might get there. Having a plan means putting in the work, doing the research, taking a risk, figuring out your priorities, and start taking steps to meet them. All of this planning will help you discover what's most important to you. And remember, what's most important to you just might change along the way. It's the process of planning that leads you not necessarily to that specific final destination, but takes you on this amazing journey of experiences of growing and becoming your best self. This is not the graduation we planned for you, class of 2020. We had all kinds of plans to show you how much we love you and how proud we are of you and who you will become. Even though everything didn't go according to plan, we hope you can still feel that love and pride come through in this ceremony. Congratulations.
What a bizarre time to graduate. But we're renegades, and we've worked hard these past years and deserve our diplomas we are about to receive. I've been at Hayes Freedom since freshman year, and being here changed my whole perspective on learning. Whether you've been here from the start or only joined our Hayes family this year, you're still a renegade. Someone who is kind, proud, and fearless. And now here we are, taking a huge fearless leap into our life after high school. Graduation is bittersweet. I'm sure most of us are excited to be done with high school and move on to whatever life brings us next. But there's also the sadness that comes along with leaving our wonderful school. We won't be getting greeted with a good morning by Holmes as soon as we enter the school. No more waving bye to DJ as we leave the parking lot. We won't be hearing that signature, "Have fun, be safe," after every class with Winkley, or how excited we'd all get when we're told that Brasher Robinson will be substituting. I'm sure we all won't miss being told to put our phones away though. I'm not sure why, but we had a real bad habit with that. Now, I don't want to end this speech on a sad note. Graduation is a celebration after all. A celebration of our accomplishments. Along with graduation comes many questions about our post-high school life. One question I've gotten a lot is, how do you feel about graduating? And I believe the default answer is nervous. Not a scared nervous, but excited nervous. Like right before a concert starts, or as soon as you get on a roller coaster. Excited to get our life started and use what we learned at school to do that. Each of us is taking a different path after today. Whatever it is that we end up doing, as long as we work hard and put our full effort in, we will be successful and proud of what we've blossomed into. I'll never forget my 4 years at Hayes, all the laughs and memories I have created with so many of you. I would like to say thank you to each and every one of the students and staff members at Hayes for making my experience here so wonderful. Thank you.
I never thought I'd be upset about leaving high school. Then again, I thought it would be under normal circumstances. But the thought that my time at Hayes is over brings me to tears. Hayes is not a normal high school. All of the teachers at Hayes care about each kid that walks through their classroom doors. Hayes is not a normal high school. You have to get accepted into it. Though everyone gets accepted in because our amazing principal, Miss Holmes, cares about every kid that walks through her doors at Hayes Freedom High School and wants to give every single one of them a great education. I will never forget my 3 years that I spent at Hayes Freedom High School, sophomore through senior year. The reason why I thought I'd be happy to leave high school is because I've never actually wanted to be there. I never really liked school. But once I went to Hayes, it was like a whole different high school/school experience in general. The teachers explained their lessons in each way they could, so each student could learn to their full potential. I'm going to miss walking up the hallway in the morning and making awkward eye contact for a few moments and then saying good morning to my teachers. Hayes is one hallway with 10 classrooms for our 10 amazing teachers. Those 10 teachers teach all 4 grades, so at Hayes, over the years, you get to know them and they get to know you. I'm going to miss hearing Mr. Harvey play guitar while we take tests. I'm going to miss Miss Winkley letting Katie, Emma, and I eat lunch in her classroom each day because it was a quiet space. I'm going to miss having DJ and Christy be there for me when days are rough and I need a shoulder to cry on. Hayes is not a normal high school.
In early September of 2019, as we began our final year of public school, we thought that on this day, June 13th, 2020, we'd be walking across the stage while our loved ones cried, or we hugged our teachers goodbye. When we accepted our degree and prepared to set off in the world as kind, proud, and fearless individuals. But that didn't quite happen. Instead, most of us are sitting at our homes, watching graduation on some type of screen. But that doesn't change the sense of accomplishment we all should feel. It doesn't change how proud our teachers are of us, our loved ones are for getting this far. A stage doesn't change the fact that we made it. We did it. We graduated high school. During the past 13 years of schooling, we've had to deal with moving, grief and loss, broken hearts, and what seemed to be our wits' end. But we took it in stride and with a stoic resolve that many others would have crumbled under. We've been cast or losing hands, and we've been knocked down again and again, but here we are, standing stronger than ever before. A global pandemic is just another one on our long list of things that we'll be able to say that we've overcome. And as we progress into life, heading towards careers by college or jobs, we know how to overcome. And someday, we can look back and think about how crazy our senior year was. From a senior skip day that lasted 3 months, not 1, but 2 graduations, crazy classes and fun times that we did have with each other and every one of our incredible teachers, and be able to cherish these good times. We made it. We did it. So be proud. We've had our highs, like messing with teachers, going out with friends, even coming to Hayes and being a part of the environment. And we've had our lows, such as breakups, unsure if we were going to pass this class, or even getting hit by a car. After all we've done, I'm sure that there's almost nothing we can't become. We have a strong resilience, a tenacity deep inside each and every one of us. Whenever someone thought we had our knockout punch, we stood back up stronger than ever before. This year, this virtual graduation is proof that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. After a year like this, after what we've gone through, our high school years, and even the last 13 years of education, I can firmly say, without a shadow of a doubt, that we've learned to be tough, push through, and overcome any obstacle. Our future is bright. We can do almost anything we put our minds to, because we are the class of 2020. And so I conclude with this. As you leave high school and head into the world, be confident, knowing that whatever gets thrown at you, you can take it. Together, we will climb mountains and fly high as the stars, because we can face any challenge that comes our way, because we know to lean on each other if we fall, and push each other back up. We know to lend a helping hand, and to look out for each other and for ourselves. And because we know our lows and how to ascend past them. Thank you, class of 2020.
We miss you.
We're proud of you.
We love you.
Congratulations, Renegades!
Hey, Renegades. You probably don't need to hear one more time how this senior year and this graduation is not what we expected and not what we wanted for you. I, for one, would have much rather spent the last 9 weeks chasing down your senior project hours or coaching you through prep for those senior boards presentations or replanning my lessons around all your senior skip days, but that's not the way it went. And as you step away from high school into this next phase of your life, the fact that this last phase didn't go as planned is actually really good preparation for adulthood, because in reality, things don't always go the way you plan. And sometimes you just have to roll with it and learn from it, and that's not a bad thing at all. Pandemic or not, graduations are always times when we go through our first big public transition. We transition from that identity of being a student to being something else. And the list of things that something else could be is really long. One thing you absolutely need to know is that you are not expected to have it all figured out just yet. Your brains are actually not even done cooking. Science suggests that the human brain continues developing and doesn't really even achieve a fully formed state until age 20 to 25, or maybe even never if the evening news and YouTube are any indication. But your brain is actually going through a really important transition right now, and that's what I wanted to talk to you about. This shift that happens as you leave your teen years. In your teen years, you are wired to be self-centered. And I don't mean that you're wired to be selfish. I mean that you're working to carve out yourself and who you are and what your identity is. You're really trying to design the human being that you want to become. And this is also why teenagers rebel, because part of carving out yourself is establishing that you are different from the adults around you. You're an individual. So teenagers rebel and take on different fashions and listen to different music, different from their parents and teachers and other adults, because you are identifying yourself and building yourself. You too will someday be old like me and look at teenagers and think, gosh, why do they dress like that? Or why do they behave like that? Or you'll feel like teenagers are speaking a totally different language. That's because those future teenagers are and will be, just like you, wired to build their own independence and assert their individual identity. As your brain finishes cooking these next few years, a really important shift is happening. And that's what I want to talk about. It's the shift from me to we. Your natural brain development at this stage in these next 5 to 10 years starts to push you toward thinking beyond yourself and thinking about your family, your friends, and your community differently. You start to see beyond the impact that your actions have on yourself. You see that you have an impact on those around you, and that may be big or small, good or bad. You start to recognize that your actions are not isolated moments in this universe. And if you're doing it right, as you come to this realization, your empathy for others also starts to deepen and grow. And this empathy is what I wish for you more than anything else in the world. Yes, I do want you to be happy and successful and find careers and jobs and people in your life that make you feel full and complete and safe and prosperous. But I want you to adopt the ability to always see beyond yourself, to have empathy for your fellow human beings, to listen, to wonder, to reserve judgment, and to be curious about the way that others move through the world. There's been a huge debate during this pandemic about reopening and individual rights, and sadly, it has exposed a tremendous lack of empathy that we have in our culture right now. We are seeing, unfortunately, adults who, for whatever reason, have not yet developed from that me stage of development to recognizing the importance of we. And part of the reason staying focused on the me is super easy. It doesn't require any effort, no emotional or intellectual energy on my part. All I have to think about is literally what I want, what I need, what I feel. The we, on the other hand, the bigger picture, those around us, is incredibly complex. It has infinite variables and what-ifs and unique circumstances. It is really hard work to consider the we and to really listen and think. And that is why so few people do it. But here's the thing. We need each other. We really do. Despite or as fiercely independent as we think we are and how we think we can do it on our own, we actually need each other more than we'll probably ever really understand. And because we need each other, the best thing to do as we make this shift from focusing on me to thinking about all of us, the we, is for you to cultivate empathy intentionally, on purpose. Don't accept simple assumptions about why people do what they do or say what they say. It's always more complex than we might realize. There's always more behind those words and those actions than we may really understand. Humans are always more complicated than how they seem on the surface. One of the things that I've loved the most about working with you Renegades is that so many of you already have a jump start on this me to we transition. You are kind, and part of that kindness is that willingness to show empathy, to offer a helping hand or a kind word, or to just be in a space with other people and treat them well, regardless of how they're treating you. That is practicing that kind of awareness of our community and that shift from focusing on me all the time. And that's more important, honestly, than any lesson you're going to learn in my English class or in any other teacher's class. You are kind, and you should be proud of that. And the next step is to be fearless. So what I'm asking of you as you transition out of Hayes Freedom High School is that you are kind and you are proud of that. And as part of this equation, you are fearless in your empathy toward others. Seeing beyond yourself, seeing beyond the me right now feels kind of unpopular and even out of fashion. Be fearless in that. Be a renegade. Do not be afraid to stop and think. This world that I'm living in, I'm experiencing it a certain way, and others are experiencing it differently. Be willing to stop and think about that reality. Be willing to stop and think, how is this situation, this world, what we're going through right now, experienced differently by people who are different from me? People who aren't like me in whatever way, whether it's race, gender, background, education, socioeconomic comfort. What is it like right now for people who have more than me or less than me or different whatever than I do? We don't do enough of that kind of thinking. That's what I'm asking you to do. So continue being kind. Be proud of that kindness and be fearless in your empathy toward others and fearless in your willingness to stop and think about what other people might be going through. All of us, your teachers, your staff, everybody, we are so proud of you, Renegades. You were dealt something that none of us ever had to experience as we finished up our high school experiences. And some of you handled it well, some of you are still struggling through it, and know that we will do whatever we can to support you as you move forward. And these are strange times, and we don't know what the world has in store for you, but we have faith in you. And we are excited to see what you do next. Congratulations, Renegades, class of 2020. Continue being kind. Be proud of being kind. And be fearless in your kindness and empathy. And things will only get better.
Hello again, Renegades. I want each of you to know how proud our school district is of you. You all have helped create an amazing community at Hayes. Each of you has met the graduation requirements of Hayes Freedom High School and the state of Washington. The journey to today was not always easy. There were times that required great persistence and patience, times that required you to lean on others like this amazing staff at Hayes and your family and friends. There was laughter and tears, and through it all was the spirit of being a renegade that runs through each of you, kind, fearless, and proud. Seeing you develop these qualities gives us great hope for our future. You are truly an amazing class with limitless potential to hopefully impart that renegade spirit on the world. On behalf of the Camas School District, the Hayes Freedom High School staff, and community, it is my privilege to present the class of 2020.
Amanda Renee Barron, Logan Annalisa Bell, Isabel Laura Berriman, Jaidyn Icy Rose Beyerle, Emma RaeAnn Carroll, Gage Michael Kraft, Emma Rhyanne Cross, Riley Josette DeHart,
Hi, I know the world is a very bizarre place at the moment, to say the least, but at least we get to live through it together as a class of 2020 and have good stories for our children.
Johna Margaret Mariene Dugan, Piper Francis Dunn, Samantha Ryan Friesen, Tucker Bryan Green, Jacob Thomas Harmon, Maxwell Forestir Harris, Trenton Marquise Harris.
Guys, just wanted to say a special thanks to all of my supporters that have helped me get to this point. So all my teachers, my friends, my family, God, thank you all. Love you all so much. Take care.
Sierra Isabella Hobson, Alexis Naomi Holmes, Sky Giselle Howard, Drew Allen Kjeldin, Torren Kai Kruger, Eli Jackson Lawrence, Zachary Michael Lynn, Gregory Tsuyoshi Lipkin, Tyler Mariscal, Noah Patrick McAllister, Hallie Joe McCallum,
Thank you to my family and the Hayes staff for being so supportive. Love you guys. And thank you to Peggy. I wouldn't be graduating if it wasn't for my tutor.
Katie Elizabeth McNeil, Ethan Jeffrey Mears,
I'd like to thank Ms. Holmes and all of the Hayes Freedom faculty and staff for helping me with this journey through Hayes Freedom High School. Thank you guys, it means a lot to me.
Travis Kurt Metzler, Georgia Adelaide Millar, Michaela Diane Monahan, Riley Dwayne Muleback, Hadia Nazanin Nasseri, Lennon Noble,
Geez, these hats are really uncomfortable. I can see why they throw them. Have a good time.
Chloe Christine Nutter, Lucky Ryan Olson, Christian Gray Oxford,
Hi, my name is Christian Oxford, and I plan to become a construction worker.
Dean Malcolm Parks, Cameron Danielle Peters, Haley Rose Polka, Evan Caleb Rice, Nash Charles Ruge, Cassidy Rose Schwarzler, Kathryn Mae Sudbeck, Allison Leanne Templer. Kirsten Elaine Wharton Wood.
Hi, my name is Kirsten, and my future plans are to become a cosmetologist.
Emma Elizabeth Wright.
Bright as the sun, I find warmth in your eyes. To my surprise, you collide with my life. What a delight, you collide with my life. My love for you goes deeper in the sea. I'm here for you just as you've been for me. And all of the world close their eyes to feel free. Even a blind man with true love could see. Even a blind man like me.
Hayes Freedom High School class of 2020, I am honored to have been able to serve as your principal. As today's celebration comes to a close, I would like to take a moment to honor the loss of days, moments, and traditions for the class of 2020. While the first 3 years of high school are important, it is the final quarter of your senior year when you take those last few steps towards the next part of your life's journey that we look forward to sharing with you the most. We will never know what those days and weeks would have looked like. I do know that typically this time of year is about much more than the last few credits and your senior boards. The last weeks of your senior year are about finding that personal closure that will help you feel confident about leaving the safety of your home, knowing that you are ready and prepared and have people, your Renegade family, behind you cheering you on for the rest of your life. I found this quote from R.L. Nost well before we knew the way the school year would end. It goes like this: Do not be dismayed by the brokenness of the world. All things break, and all things can be mended. Not with time, as they say, but with intention. So go, love intentionally, extravagantly, and unconditionally. This broken world waits in darkness for the light that is you. Now, even more than on March 13th, this resonates with me when thinking about the class of 2020. The school you are graduating from was built on the idea to spark, protect, and remind you of your light as you grow into the beginning version of who you were destined to become. We could not protect you from this craziness, but your light was already bright and strong. It is your time now. Do not let the worry about what might happen keep you from continuing to be a light in this world. There are pieces of our graduation tradition that I refuse to relinquish to this pandemic. A Hayes Freedom High School graduation includes a few final personal interactions. I place your medallion on, I watch your face as your name is read, and there are hugs and handshakes. Your graduation ceremony will not be truly complete until we are able to be face to face and closer than 6 feet apart. Renegades, you are courageous, patient, loving, quiet, smart, talented, strong-willed, and powerful. As you go make your place in this world, please do so honorably, truly, and without regret. Always be kind, proud, and fearless. Congratulations.